For a game that takes place only 6 months after its predecessor, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask establishes that a lot happened in between Link's returning to the past in Ocarina of Time and landing in Termina in Majora's Mask. There's a lot of history between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, and interestingly, all is left to subtext. Outside of Link flashing back to Zelda in Majora's Mask throughout the game, Majora's Mask does not really reference Link's time in between the games. The development of Majora's Mask took a rather short amount of time and saw a lot of ideas come and go. Whether it's in or out of universe, a lot has happened between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Let's go ahead and talk about 10 things that you might not have known that happened between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Number 10. Link rats out Ganondorf. Now established in the Twilight Princess, Link rats out Ganondorf to the King of Hyrule almost as soon as he comes back from the future, leaving the Master Sword in the future. It is implied that Link himself rushes over to Hyrule Castle, meets Zelda for the first time once again, and then exposes Ganondorf's plans. Now from here, Ganondorf is then executed. He actually manages to survive, courtesy of the Triforce of Power, and Link lives the rest of his life as a simple soldier. Now with this in mind, Majora's Mask ends up the hero of Time's real last adventure. Once he comes to Hyrule though, it is implied that he marries Marin from Lon Lon Ranch and lives out his days as a knight. Number 9. Ura Zelda. Originally being developed for the Nintendo 64 DD, Ura Zelda was the first form that Majora's Mask would ultimately manifest from. Series producer Miyamoto's vision of Ocarina of Time's immediate successor, Ura Zelda, became what we all now know and love as the Master Quest, which is the remixed version of Ocarina of Time. Now, saying that, Ura Zelda would have been a completely different remix of Master Quest, as it would feature brand new dungeons to complement the remix dungeons. Taking place in Ocarina of Time's Hyrule, Ura Zelda would have reimagined the rest of the game considerably. Only the remix dungeons ever saw enough development to warrant a release. Number 8. Link toughens up. Concept art can say a lot, especially about a character. In concept art for Ocarina of Time, young Link is clearly adventurous, joyful, and eager to explore the world. In the concept art for Majora's Mask, the year-older Link is confident, definitely way more stoic, and clearly ready to take anything life throws at him. Of course, Ocarina of Time events toughen Link up most considerably, but so does literally going back in time, having lived an adult's life in an adult's body. When Link returns to the past, he returns not to his past, but to one Zelda created for him. His world was the future he was forced to leave behind. That of course would literally toughen anybody up. Number 7. Zelda Gaiden. The game that would establish much of what would ultimately become Majora's Mask, Zelda Gaiden, was yet another Nintendo 64 Triple D game that didn't see the light of day. That said, its concept exists way more fully than Ura Zelda's, serving as the basis for most of Majora's Mask, notably serving as the basis for the time system. Interestingly enough, Zelda Gaiden was intended to feature a 7-day cycle, not a 3-day cycle. It would have taken advantage of 64 DD, but the concept was likely proved too all-consuming for Nintendo. Majora's Mask is complicated enough with 3 days. 7 would have been serious overkill. Number 6. The Gun Goes Cavern and Inside Jabu Jabu's Belly. So it's easy to assume that Link was transported back to the moment he pulled the Master Sword, but there's simply no way that would work logistically. By that point, Ganondorf had already taken over Hyrule. Link actually gets sent back to right before he meets Princess Zelda. As a result, while he may not need the spiritual stones anymore, the Goron and Zora still need help from Ganon. Not only did Ganondorf seal up Dodongo's cavern, infesting it with Dodongo, Princess Ruto is still inside of Jabu Jabu at this point. Link would realistically need to redo both dungeons after selling out Ganondorf. Number 5. Link has a growth spurt. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask lifts a lot from Ocarina of Time, which is why the time span of creating the two games was very short in between, but it actually uses an altered version of Link's character model. Not only is the new character model far higher in resolution, but Link's face and clothes are extremely more detailed, and he's actually a little bit taller than in Ocarina of Time. Now, he's not as tall as adult Link, but he's definitely and noticeably taller than young Link in Ocarina of Time. After all, Link is older in Majora's Mask. More importantly, however, a taller Link means that he would look way more impressive pulling off adult Link features. Majora's Mask takes place in Ocarina's past, but the difficulty curve and level design treats itself as if it's in Ocarina's future. Number 4. Link reforges the Kokiri sword. Along with an updated character model, Link also gets an updated sword model. Gone is his puny knife, the Kokiri sword in Ocarina of Time, and it is detailed as a proper longsword now. Though that does beg the question, how did Link reforge it? More importantly, did he have to ask permission? Ocarina of Time clearly states that Link is only borrowing the sword. Either way, Link had to find some way to turn that knife into an actual weapon fit for a warrior. As far as Hyrule goes though, his only options are the two big Goron in Death Mountain. Considering the Kokiri sword doesn't break, Link likely went for the proper blacksmith in the family. Number 3. Link spends a lot of time at Lon Lon Ranch. Now, Twilight Princess no doubt subtly suggests that Link ends up settling down with Malon. Now, if nothing else, he has to become a farmer since the Twilight Princess Link lives on a farm and he's a direct descendant of the Hero of Time. In regards to Majora's Mask though, Link is in full possession of Epona despite not being old enough to own a horse or have enough money to buy one. The only logical explanation here is that Link earned Epona over time, bonding with her on Lon Lon Ranch before heading off for Termina. Since his relationship with Malon and Talon was so sound, they let him keep the horse as a gesture of good faith. This would also explain the link between Link and Epona and a reason why they ended up settling down together in the game. Number 2, Link befriends the royal family. Considering Link spends 2/3 of the game with it in his inventory, it's easy to take the Ocarina of Time's role in Majora's Mask for granted. Link has it at the beginning of the game because Zelda gifted it to him. Simple enough, but there are some holes missing here. The game never expresses why Zelda would give him the Ocarina. In Ocarina of Time, it's because Ganondorf is on the cups of victory, literally. No such threat exists before Link leaves though, meaning that Zelda gave it to him as a genuine gift. Knowing Link also spoke with the king in regards to Ganondorf, it's likely Link earned his way into the royal family's inner circle. Number 1. Link leaves Kokiri Forest behind forever. Considering Kokiri Forest is more or less wiped off the map by the time Twilight Princess rolls around, Link likely never returned to his childhood home. Considering the fact that Lost Woods doesn't exclusively lead into Kokiri Forest, it's entirely possible that Link returns from Termina in Goron City or Zora's Domain. This would mean that the last time Link steps foot in Kokiri Forest is when he goes into the Lost Woods to find Navi. Needless to say though, it's unlike he'll never meet Navi again either. The period between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask really sheds light on how sad the Hero of Time's life truly was. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If there was anything in this top 10 list that you guys did not know or really surprised you, let me know in the comments below. And if you found any value in this video, definitely consider subscribing to the channel for any and all things Zelda. On this channel I post videos every single week, so be on the lookout for a video every week. Until next time, continue to be that light in somebody's life, and I'll see you guys in the next video.